Welcome back. In this video, we explore one question that I get really often. And that's the question, Nenad, how do I manifest the life that I really want? And often people will go and saying like, I try different technique, visualization, gratitude, different things, and it works on some extent. I manifest little things, but for the big things, the things that I really want, whether it's the money, whether it's the relationship, the car, the job, it just seems like I'm struggling, it seems like it's not happening, or it's taking time, and I just don't know what to do. So, what's the solution? What do I do? And I love that question because I've been pondering on that question for a long time in the past myself. And today I want to share the one thing, the one key, the one thing that really tied up everything for me. And when I got it, like the things I started to manifest got so much better, faster, but also like I created so many amazing things in my life that at some point I felt like I had no idea how it would come. Whether it's this amazing condo, whether it's the living conditions, my business, the clients, the money, whether it's resolving conflict or the relationship that I have. So this is the key. And the key is this. You have to live from the end result now. You have to live from the end state of consciousness now, meaning you have to embody and become the person who already has that kind of life you desire today. It sounds so simple, and this is something I didn't grasp for a long time. I kind of knew it, but I kind of didn't apply it, and I kind of didn't know how to sustain that kind of thing. But it's so, so, so important. And here's why, because your state of consciousness, it always objectify himself, meaning your state of consciousness, it's what creates your reality. And the trick, the trap, the pitfall that we have is that we wait for the thing, the money, the time, the relationship, the job. Then we'll feel worthy. Then we'll feel successful. Then we'll feel loved. Then we'll feel, grateful or whatnot. So we feel like until that thing happens, I cannot, be that person yet, right? And the challenge is that everything around you reminds you of where you are and what you don't have. So if you're single, how do I go into that end state of feeling like I already have a healthy, loving relationship? Like if I want a successful business and I'm just starting out and I have no business, how do I assume that? I'm just delusional. So we have those conflicting thoughts and we feel like I need to keep it real and stay grounded in reality and what's true and what I see and what's tangible. But we don't realize that our state of consciousness is what determines the success of your new business, of that relationship and everything else. And it's so important to get that point because I want you to ask and consider this question right now. If you consider where you are and your state of consciousness mostly on a day-to-day basis, and then you stop for a few minutes and you consider, how would I be? Who would I be if I already had the life that I desire? Meaning, how would I think differently? What kind of inner conversation would I have? What kind of story would I be telling myself? What kind of imaginal act would I be creating? How would I be responding to the world differently? How would I see and talk and walk in life differently? How would I be feeling? And how worthy would I feel of having the life that I already have? What would I do differently today if I was to live from that state? Because that's what it really takes. How can you live today differently? Forget about tomorrow, next week, next month. What can you do today? How can you show up differently today? Because when you assume that feeling, that state of consciousness, not only leads to the ideas, the gut feeling, the intuition, the synchronicity, the idea to just call someone, be a certain place, do a certain things that kind of lead to different things. And then all of a sudden, you're realizing that, holy shit, things are coming together. And it feels so natural that you feel like, well, it would have happened anyway. That's the trick, is that sometimes things happen so naturally, we feel like, well, it would have just happened. It's not about all those, law of assumption, law of attraction thing. It's just, we convince ourselves that we didn't play a role in that. But the truth is that our state of consciousness contributed to get us there more than we ever know, more than we ever give credit. And personal empowerment is realizing our creative power. Because if you just forget and you think it's random luck and chance, you disempower yourself, because for next time, you're gonna wait again for luck and a strike of, synchronicity to reach your way, when really you have to be the catalyst for that experience. And how do you do that? You assume the state of consciousness and you start to think from the end. If you're single right now, maybe the state of consciousness you need to adopt is to be in a healthy, loving relationship, a healthy, loving partner. And if you were to do that, how would you live your day? What kind of state would you have when you talk to other people, when you talk to yourself, when you go on dates, when you do all those different things? How would you already be? How would you already carry yourself? What kind of decisions would you make differently? So this is so, so important. But the best way to do it is to take some time to immerse yourself and explore what that person looks like. Whether it's on paper, whether it's in your imagination, whether it's in your meditation, to just play, become playful, experience that person, become that person. And today ask yourself, how would I live differently from that state? What choice would I make differently? What do I feel called to do differently today? And as you just do that today, you'll be amazed at what's possible tomorrow and the next day, because one step a day can take you a very long way. But it's also about being able to feel worthy now. And I want to really re-emphasize that state, because often what I notice working with so many clients is they don't feel worthy of having that success, having that much better life compared to what they have now, having so much more than they have now, because life always gives us what we feel worthy of receiving. And on some level, we create so many rules and so many bullshit stories, and it's our state of consciousness now that feels worthy of what we have in the life we have now, that holds us back with those crazy thoughts and crazy stories we make up. And so we slip back in the old state of consciousness because we feel like it's comfortable. And the new state is like, when you're wearing a new shoe, and you feel like it's a bit uncomfortable, and you really have to walk in it before you loosen it up, and then it becomes comfortable. The challenge is that we don't like too much that new shoes because we don't know how to do it, we don't know how it feels, it's a bit uncomfortable, I have to do different things. So let me just go back in the old comfortable shoes. They're ugly, they're worn out, but they're comfy. I know how they feel, it's easy. Yeah, that's kind of the metaphor, but you have to go back always into that new state. And the moment you do that, the more you do that, the more it just fits you, it becomes you. And you're not even wondering, you don't even feel you're wearing shoes anymore, you're just walking in that state. And that's the sweet spot that things just start to naturally unfold because it's who you are. So this is my answer to the question today. And really, I want you to take some time, because it's so important to take some time today to answer this question. How would you live differently if you were already the person that had that life, that created that life? What kind of thoughts would you have differently? How would you walk differently? How would you talk differently? How would you show up differently? What is something you would do out of the blue from this state? And then go do it. Go apply it and see what happens. Because experience is the best convincer. I will see you in my next video, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe as always. See you next time. Be well.